Hello folks, today I'm here with Kayla Michael, and I met Kayla at the recent Acorn Gathering outside of Buellton. It was a fantastic event, and you're quite an interesting person. I learned that Kayla basically bicycles everywhere. She's done that her whole life. Tell me about your average year of bicycling. How do you travel?
Well, now I'm retired.
Okay.
Before that was more hiking than biking.
Okay.
In the deep wilderness. But now I'm more biking than hiking, and it's more north in the spring and summer. Home base is still Wyoming.
Okay.
And south in the fall and winter. And the last 3 winters I've wintered in southwest Arizona.
Wintered in southwest Arizona, and you bicycled there?
A bicycle, sometimes I might take a train or a shuttle bus.
So you told me that you've bicycled thousands of miles. What were some of the longest trips you've taken?
Last summer I did a bunch on the Great Divide mountain bike route, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana.
How many miles would that be bicycling? Let's say per each day, how many miles do you bicycle?
Maybe 50, 60,
50 miles
70.
a day.
And
Okay.
last fall I did a bunch from southwest Oregon all the way down to here, Southern California.
And I saw your bicycle. It's a simple bike. You just have a pack on the back?
Yeah, about 30 pounds of stuff,
30
2
pounds.
panniers, my tent, and
You have
several stuff. Yeah.
Tent, sleeping bag. What do you do for food?
Usually eat a lot of food. What I used to take with me when I was hiking, a lot of food I don't have to cook or mess with.
So food that you can eat on the trail. Nuts?
Granola bars, nuts, beef jerky,
Okay.
fruit and grain bars,
And do you ever-
that oatmeal in packets, etc.
Okay, I think I have one of those in my pocket. I think like one of these kind of gizmos, right?
Yeah.
A granola bar.
Yeah.
So is using a bathroom ever a problem?
Nope, because if I'm out in the wilds, the bathroom
Bathroom is everywhere.
you just go out back in the woods and do it, bury the poop, and everything,
What about like planning your trips? Do you get a Rand McNally road atlas to plan your journeys?
I usually, every so often, I like getting a cup of coffee. So I might stop, getting a cup of coffee in there. I'm more planning my day, where I would like to get to. And like out in the Rockies, there's a lot of government land you could hide off into.
Okay. And you want to go hiding?
Here,
you go hiding off then,
or
right?
Here, there's a lot of state parks down the coast.
Okay.
So I'd plan my route where I would be probably that night, to what's next state park and so forth.
So you're carrying a map. You have some plan of where you're going to go.
I have a little Samsung tablet.
Okay.
And so when I get coffee, get on the internet and plan my route out the next few days.
I see. So you mentioned that your whole life has been kind of planned to work for what you need, and then to travel and get into the wilderness.
Yeah, most of my life when I was young, I would have a house, a room in Jackson, work, not have a vehicle, and then I'd work from fall to spring, save my money purpose to go back my summer wandering. A lot of times it's back in the wilderness in the summer. Now I'm more hiking, biking, and I'm Social Security, so I just live on my Social Security.
That's fantastic. And so are there regular people that you meet on some of your travels?
Oh, yes.
So like you were at the Acorn Gathering. Did you attend Winter Count or Rabbit Stick?
I go to Rabbit Stick, have been most every year since about 2002, 2004. Last few years I've helped as a helper to Tom Cook, the duck man.
Tom Cook. I met Tom Cook, the duck man, at the Acorn
And
Gathering.
I've gone to Winter Count often.
And Tom goes up there too?
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've just been a student and so forth. And sometimes I've given talks on my trips.
Oh, so when you give a presentation, it's about how one can maybe do what you do, how you travel, and how one can follow in your footsteps, so to speak.
I try to say that. And I tell people, hey, there's a lot of country out there you can go to all over Western North America. There's places unchanged since the days of Lewis and Clark.
You say it's still unchanged since Lewis and Clark.
Pretty much like the headwaters of the Yellowstone, deep wilderness, Bob Marshall, Montana, places central Idaho. There's a lot of good wilderness out there. Like you go from South Pass, Wyoming to Livingston, Montana. You only cross 4 roads, and the rest is
How long of a journey is that?
Oh, it's maybe 1,000 miles.
So how long would that take you to do that?
Depends how long you just want to sit in one spot as you're hiking. I
see.
get to some spots, I might sit there a week or two, just
See.
enjoying.
So you're not trying to make tracks, so to speak, just trying to enjoy it.
I usually just go back to live with the land.
Now, let me
and
ask
the
you,
wildlife.
have you kept records of your journeys?
Since my first year went out, I've kept a journal. I've got a big box in my storage in Wyoming. I have all my journals since '78.
So if I'm listening to this today, I'm going to say, I'd love to read that journal. Are you going to publish all that into a book?
Well, I'm
Yes.
houseless right now,
Yes.
so that'd be very hard.
I see.
But if I do get a place, room, I've thought about writing a book. The biggest thing I've noticed with several others who wrote in the book, but they self-published, is all the marketing and everything.
True.
And it took like them 5 years to write the book. So
True.
there's various hurdles there.
You
if I
might
do.
get advice from Tom Cook, who's done that.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great idea. If somebody wanted to get advice from you, how would they reach you?
You can often email me.
What's the email?
Okay. It means Kayla Michael at Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Let's spell that out.
All lowercase, KMATJHWY at yahoo.com.
Now, if somebody
And also have it at protonmail.com.
So if somebody emails you and they have a question about something, if it's me, I always say I'm very prompt in getting back to you no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
Is that how you are?
I try to be prompt, but sometimes I'm out
Sometimes
there.
you're on the road, yeah.
But there's also, I go to a forum called Backcountry Post, and a lot of people
Backcountry Post.
a lot of hikers, and some people get on there and they ask me questions and so forth.
Okay,
and I
that's
usually
fantastic.
answer.
So,
And that's a good hiking forum.
so Kayla is one of the most unique individuals I've met in a long time. I mean, I bicycled a lot, but nothing like what you did. And I'm glad that you were able to spend this time with us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Give her an email or a call. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks for having me,
Thank you.
and wishing everyone the best. Life is great.